Page 18, Clementine. 3/4 time. It's got one sharp in the key signature, so we're in the key of G major. All the F's are going to be sharpened. It has a pickup beat, so we're coming in on beat 3. If you look at the last measure at the bottom of page 19, you see it only has 2 beats. So it all makes sense. This is the 3rd beat of that measure. I'm going to talk about this one hand at a time. Let's make sure we have the fingering and the notes and the rhythm and all that, because we're not exactly in a 5-finger position. We're moving around a little bit here. So starting out with 3rd finger on the G here. So we're starting out sort of like you think it's here, but you see in the first full measure you have a D, so the thumb's going to come down. So you're really in this position. So you have to look ahead when you're trying to figure out a position and see what notes are there and see if you can accommodate those notes or not. If you can accommodate it, then you adjust your position to do so. If you can't accommodate it, then you know you're going to have to move the hand. So it's 3 and. 3 and 1 and 2 and. Now immediately I want you to come up and put your 3rd finger on the B. So here. Okay, if that's right. You just lift up and move. Here, and now you're in this position. If you want to get adventurous, you can do this. At the beginning, play the 8th notes with little finger, because it's there, and then 3rd finger. Can you do that? You're going to have to learn to do that eventually, is why I'm suggesting it. Maybe you want to kind of try it out now and see how it works. So it's 5, 5, 3. And then up here, 2nd line, 1 and 2 and. We have the dotted rhythm, 1 and 2 and. The quarter note comes on 1. The dot comes on 2. So the 8th note comes on the and of 2, because the dot only gets half a count. So it's 1 and 2 and. So you have to hold the note down through 2 until you get to the end of 2. Am I complicating this or what? Okay. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Now, top of page 19, 1st measure. After you play the quarter note G, now you come down. It's similar to what I suggested on the previous page of going up. Now we're coming down. This happens a lot in piano. I suggest you get good at it. You even want to get to the point where you can do it without looking at the keyboard, where you can feel this eventually. You got to look first, but then 3rd finger. Thumb down, and you can stay here if you want, or you can collapse so the F sharp can be with 2nd finger or 3rd finger. Whichever way you want to go. Pick one and stick with it. Don't keep moving back and forth. Then the next line, it's like it was at the beginning. Left hand, starting out with 3rd finger on G, puts you in this position. And notice when I do the positions, I use the F sharp because it's in the key signature, so it's part of the position. So it's 1, 2, rest. Oh, isn't this fun? This is exciting. And then finally, the 2nd measure, 2nd line, you reach down and reach up. See, I told you before in my videos where the outside fingers have to cover multiple notes. This is a great example because both of them do. And for the most part, that's the left hand. Let's put them together. Here and here, more or less. 3 and 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2. Now, be careful in the left hand. Make sure you play that rest on the 3rd beat. That is, you're quiet. You play a rest by being quiet. So in the 2nd line, 2nd measure here, I lift up when I play the 8th notes. So forth. Now that's pretty. The rest of it is just sort of a repeat of what you had. The words are different, but the music is a repeat. And I don't sing in the videos. This is painful enough. We don't need to hear that stuff. If you want to sing, you go right ahead. I can't hear you. It doesn't matter to me. So get that to where you can play it without any hesitations. No wrong notes. Everything's working okay. If you can get to where you can play it without looking at the keyboard, even better. Good for you. There's no real articulation except the slurs. So let's look at that. In the right hand, lift up, lift up, lift up. It's just a lift up between you. It's like taking a breath. You know, if you were singing it, you could take a breath at those spots if you wanted to. In the left hand, you're slurring two notes. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, rest, down, up, rest. You may wonder, say, why do they even bother with slurs in the left hand? Because you'd play it that way anyway if they didn't put in slurs. And the answer is because if they don't tell you anything, you can do what you want. So if you wanted to play them disconnected, you could, because you're not violating what the music tells you to do. But when they put in slurs, now you don't have a choice. You got to connect them. And as it's working out, you're sort of lifting both hands at the same time. It just works out that way. Usually it doesn't, but it's here. You get the idea? You have to be careful because on a couple of those spots, the left hand lifts up, the right hand doesn't. Look at the top of page 19. The first line you lift up both, but here you lift up the left hand but not the right. Connect that. Connect all that together. So watch out on those. As far as dynamic goes, this is an arrangement of a song, and you can pretty much do whatever you feel the dynamics are. The dynamics, provided they're telling you loud, and that's for the melody, which is the right hand. Whatever you think loud is, not really loud, just loud. And keep the left hand under it. The left hand has to support it. Don't get in the way. And then at the end of the first line on page 19, you get the hairpin, the arrow to diminuendo. Come down to about a medium soft or so. Just die away. The left hand should be soft anyway. It doesn't bother. Then you start the next line out loud again. So forth, and then at the bottom you die away again. Speed-wise, I think that's, how fast would you want to sing? It's not a fast song. Andante moderato is on the slightly slow side of the mid-range. Somewhere in there. Whatever. I think that's about it. Somewhere in there is my opinion of the speed. Eventually, you got to learn it first. I like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 2 counts, and we will play it twice because if you notice there is a repeat sign at the end, so we will play it twice. Ready and go, and